Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, if you caught yesterday's video on the whole Robert De Niro situation, the Democrats, or rather Joe Biden's new spokesperson, you probably noticed that the overall demeanor of that video was for the most part not so serious. And you know, that was just an authentic reaction after years of painstakingly covering every single element and all the details in all the Trump cases and all the Trump witch hunts over the years. At this point, I'm kind of just annoyed, fed up, not taking it so seriously anymore, because at this point we've reached peak insanity and it's no longer this serious thing, it's more so just a big frickin' joke. And a bad joke at that. And it seems as though I'm not the only one who had that kind of reaction. The world is laughing at Robert De Niro. It's no surprise why, but really the world is laughing at these leftist clown world theatrics. Let's talk about it. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so the clowning of Robert De Niro continues. This time on Eric Bolling's show, The Balance on Newsmax, with guest celebrity host Rob Schneider.
But can we just talk a little bit about what happened today outside the courthouse in New York, where Robert De Niro, of all people, shows up, and we know he's a Trump hater. We got that, but some of the things.
Yeah, I wasn't 100% sure how he felt about Trump, Eric. I thought he was kind of on the fence, but frothingly angry. Well, you know, I would say anytime that that people use fear mongering or think like they always say every 4 years, this is the most important election. This may be the last election, you know. But for him to say today that he's never going to leave. I mean, he left once. So the evidence is he did leave. I will say that we have a very good system. We have the legislature, we have the executive, judicial. It's a pretty good system. James Madison came up with it. I don't think any one man or either party, even if the Democrats win again, and I hope they don't, but if they do, we're strong enough to survive it. It's just, can we allow another 11 million people to come in and change the voting habits of this great country? And we do need immigration. I'm all for it. It just has to be legal. We do need people who want to come in and work. And thankfully, people do want to work. And we need that. However, I believe that the real threat to our system of government, and I don't think it's too good of a system to turn into a dictatorship overnight. But if they want to expand the Supreme Court, that's a big problem. I think if they want to also expand, another thing for people out there, don't be so focused on this national election. Vote local.
There's something so funny about the Robert De Niro arc. You know, he prepared this whole thing, got in front of that microphone, in front of all the cameras, did his whole spiel. I think he was up there for like 9 minutes. All this effort, all this time, this lengthy monologue about the orange threat to democracy, but he's getting BTFO'd across the board with one-liners. The first was from the interaction we played yesterday, where a random dude who was just sitting on the sidelines, after Robert De Niro launched an attack on them, he said, well, Michael Cohen lied under oath. And of course, Robert De Niro completely shut down. I mean, his entire freaking thing just came to a halt after a single sentence.
For these lowlives, for Trump.
They lied under oath.
They lied under oath.
Right.
Who lied under oath? What are you telling me?
Those two traitors behind you.
Excuse me?
Those two traitors behind you.
They lied under oath?
That's right.
What are you saying?
They're traitors.
They're traitors. I don't know. I don't even know how to deal with you, my friend. I don't even know how to deal with you. They stood there. They didn't have to.
Well, now it's happening again on the whole Donald Trump's never going to leave office bit. You know, we've heard it a million times. He's going to lock himself in the White House, refuse to leave. Police are going to have to drag him out of the White House.
And elections, forget about it. That's over. That's done. If he gets in, I can tell you right now, he will never leave. He will never leave. You know that. He will never leave. What does that mean? Is that the country we want to live in? Do we want him running this country and saying, I'm not leaving, I'm dictator for life?
but I'm pretty sure that we have evidence that he did leave. Rob Schneider's reaction and commentary was spot on. The track record's already there. Pretty sure I distinctly remember on January 20th, Donald Trump leaving the White House and Joe Biden unfortunately taking over. Well, I guess we all need to disregard that key fact and just feed into the Trump deranged nonsense. Ignore all the policies and of course all the important stuff, and especially ignore all the policy failures from this administration and just vote based on irrational fear. The Democrat strategy is a strategy of fear-mongering, of baseless, unhinged fear-mongering. It might have worked at one point, but at this point, nobody cares. I think there's Trump derangement syndrome fatigue, and now the world is truly laughing at Robert De Niro. The New York Post released this as yesterday's front page. Raging bullshit. Sideshow Bob De Niro goes ballistic stumping for Biden outside of Trump trial. They called him a frickin' sideshow. We don't call it the leftist clown world for nothing. We're witnessing peak Democrat delusion and insanity. Everybody seems to be watching the same movie, except for those on the other side. It's a weird thing. We're all looking at the same picture. Let's say it's the old school Windows background. You know, the blue sky with the green mountainous field. We can all see it for what it is, a blue sky and a green mountain. But Democrats are staring at the same picture, witnessing the frickin' flaming gates of hell. We're not watching the same thing. Here's where I'm going with the analogy. We all saw Robert De Niro teaming up with the Biden campaign as a total political public stunt, but you turn on the TV and listen to Democrat clowns making their arguments on CNN, and apparently, Robert De Niro's deranged tirade outside the New York City courthouse, well, it's not political at all.
Do you think that it's smart for the Biden campaign to be outside the courthouse talking politics? The Trump campaign criticism is that shows that the trial is political. On the flip side, I'm curious, do you think that the Biden campaign should be even more aggressive than that they've been, considering the state of the polls?
Well, I haven't thought about this much, Casey, but I'll say this. For the last 3 weeks, literally 24/7, it's been the only thing that's been covered on this network. So I appreciate the chance to talk about Taiwan. I appreciate the chance to talk about other foreign policy concerns, the war in Gaza. But I suspect that Robert De Niro, who's a New Yorker, went to the trial in part because there's so much press there. If you look at the image you've got up on the TV right now, there are more microphones there than there are in the entire island nation of Taiwan. So I suspect he's there because you're there.
How utterly ridiculous. But this is par for the course with these leftoids. You see the truth, you point out the truth, and they tell you, no, you're crazy, that doesn't exist. In other words, it's the world's biggest gaslighting campaign. Yeah, we're the crazy ones, okay. Says the people engaging in political theater with Robert De Niro as their key spokesperson. None of this is serious. Nobody is taking it seriously. The only appropriate response is ridicule and parody, and all that's missing here is for the Democrats to fail in their conviction of President Trump. I just hope justice is served so more and more people can join on the bandwagon of laughing at this obvious mockery. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. As per usual, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.